like 11 states that has this stand your ground law, and we just so happen to be in one of them. Oh, hold on, let me back up. No, Georgia says Georgia has a similar law, but it's Arizona, Florida, Illinois, Kentucky, Montana, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Texas, Utah, Washington, and West Virginia. So these states have these stand your ground laws.
Ironically, all of the places that you name are predominantly what?
Southern, predominantly Southern, redneck, Mormon, West Virginia. I don't know, but it says more to how the country is and how racism just isn't going to go away because George Zimmerman and the Trayvon Martin situation has enabled him to even start up a website to collect money, and that's the problem because you have people donating over $150,000 for this man's defense or whatnot, and if Junebug from down the street accidentally stand your ground, maybe, I don't know, or just neighborhood brotherly love type of stuff, like you mess with me, I'm gonna mess with you type of deal. If he goes start up a fund, they're going to stop that at the door.
And you know what? I was mistaken. Now those states those 11 states I read off has a stand your ground that stand your ground law, but as many states has the same doctrine. And I mean, it's surprising. My eyes are sitting here like bulging out. I'm like, wow, that many states. And he has Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, California, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisville, Maine, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, New Hampshire, North Carolina, North Dakota, Iowa, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, West Virginia. Sound like I'm reading off all of them.
So
in alphabetical order.
You still in actuality, they're saying that this is bigger than Nino Brown. This is bigger than Nino Brown.
I mean, so the money I think he got is protecting that law, because if you think the law, I think there's nothing wrong with the law. Don't get me wrong. I think it's that how people are interpreting it. I think it needs to be redefined.
I think that the law coming into existence is not meant for everybody.
No, more or less, I think George Zimmerman doesn't have a legitimate defense with the stand your ground law. I think it's how he perceives the stand your ground law versus his defense, which he can almost say that
stand your ground. I mean, I haven't read the law and all of its specifics, but when I hear stand your ground, it sounds like I'm the potential victim.
Yeah.
If someone is approaching me.
Right.
Okay, but in this case, he's approaching someone, following them around like he's going to try to get some tail from him.
That's the initial.
Right.
The initial is he's the pursuer.
Right.
No, so Trayvon Martin would have the stand. If he would have, Trayvon Martin would have fired upon him, and George Zimmerman was dead, the law would in this case should have protected Trayvon Martin. Yeah. But see, that I mean, the thing is now, I mean, I'm looking past the Trayvon Martin and the George Zimmerman thing. Now, one thing that I truly believe in the bottom of my heart, a lot. There, and I hate to just say white people because I'm grouping them all together, but I'm going to say white people. They are preparing for something. I've been out to Marietta, and this is what made me think this. Because if I go to a gun shop here in the metro, in the inner city, you don't see that. You see activities, but not to that magnitude. I went to a gun store to look for an extra clip for my pistol. And I Googled it, and they sent me to this place out in Marietta. So and everybody know about Marietta in the metro Atlanta, and the ones that don't, Marietta is a suburb of the metro Atlanta area. It's outside of the metro Atlanta area. So I drive out there. And I go in there, and it was a store, and I'm not exaggerating. It was a huge store, maybe about half the size of a Walmart. That nothing but guns. Nothing but guns. And if it was not at least 150 to 200 people in there, and majority white people, if it was 200 people there, maybe 15 was black.
Did you get a chance to see the Trayvon Martin shooting target?
No. This was way before.
They have one?
Oh, you haven't seen that? Tell me you've seen that. Tell me you have.
I haven't seen
You have not seen that. They have a Trayvon Martin gun target, a shooting range target, and it's online or whatnot. And the guy sold out in like 8 hours. They said when he first came out with him, he sold out in 8 hours. That, you know, it's you know, the regular target or whatnot, but it's
with a hoodie,
with a hoodie with some with a, you know, in the hands of it as it gets further down the target has a bag of Skittles and a can of iced tea.
So in actuality, that's a testament. The fact that that's sold out, the fact that it was created, and then the fact that it's sold out is a testament.
It's marketable.
It's only marketable to someone that has the mind frame of killing
is a capitalistic,
a black person.
But this is a capitalistic, opportunistic country or whatnot. And this man that created this target obviously seen somewhere to gain capital wealth, and that was his defense, because it's been over the net or whatnot. And that was his defense, like, man, I just seen something where I could make some money off of it. He made a killing off of it. That's plain and simple.
The thing is, you have to look at, because if, in my opinion, I think all white people should have been appalled by that. Because
it was
it was an innocent. It was. I mean, and the key word that you said was some.
Yeah.
The key word that you said was some. The thing is, it's an innocent life was lost. He didn't do anything. It wasn't like he just broke in somebody's house, broke out of somebody. He was a 17-year-old kid.
From our standpoint, let's put it in full perspective. From our standpoint, our stand is that he was innocent. But you have a lot of people in this country that don't look like us that say that we're guilty
just for
existing.
Yeah,
that we're guilty.
And I understand, but see, that's the thing. That's what the part that I say a lot of people should be appalled by, because this, even though he was black, he still was innocent.
If that's their mind frame, they're not going to be appalled by it. They're going to be entertained, and they're going to keep buying those, and they're going to shoot them to pieces. They're going to probably shoot more holes in those targets.
Can you truly be equal when you have those barriers that you have to overcome, and you're not going to overcome it?
Well, I think the word equal would have to be really analyzed, because that's like in a relationship. It said, a man and a woman in a relationship are equal, but they don't have the same responsibilities across the board. When it comes to protecting a home, the expectation of most people is that the man is going to be the one that's on the forefront.
Right.
But we're equal.
We're equal, right?
We're equal. We're not standing together on one particular night. If we think somebody's in the basement, I can't send you, because you're gonna be like, what are you talking about? You're the man. It's like, but we're equal.
We're equal.
We're equal. So I did it last time, you do it this time. The same thing applies with taking out the garbage. So the word equal has to be analyzed and has to be realized that in a relationship, if it's 50-50, that 50-50 can be dispensed with me having 2 20s and a 10, and you having 5 10s. The female having 5 10s. It's still 50, but the responsibilities are different.
Right.
So it's just adding up and tallying all the responsibilities and then splitting them down the middle on who would best, how the situation would best be served on one person doing X, Y, and Z and the other person doing A, B, and C. That's my take.
Right. So man, I solicit this question or this response from my cousin. She was in the military, and I actually had 2 responses. I got one from my nephew who's in the military, and one from my cousin, and I got a buddy of mine that responded to it also. But my question was, should women serve in the military? And my nephew, Corey, said that he think women can be in the military if they can hang. If they can keep up, then he think it's no problem.
I don't think they should be in the military side by side with a man.
I agree with you.
I think it should, I don't even adhere to the concept of being chauvinistic. I'm being real. I don't think that I think it should go back to back in the day where there were specific jobs in ways that women aided men that were in the military. So they were in the military, but they weren't in combat. I don't think females should be in combat. because even if, I mean, it's bad enough that the men can be subjected, if they're in another country, they can be subjected to all kind of similar things that a female, is in jeopardy, or depending on the country that they're occupying, where they're caught, and with the mind frame of the individuals that, that are capturing. So men could be raped in other countries.
Right.
It may not be reported, but I'm sure it happens, but women, 9 times out of 10, if they're in that situation, those are the type of things that they're going to have to deal with. I know that they realize that when they sign up, the possibilities of different things that can happen. But I don't think it's a good idea, me personally.
Brother, I totally disagree. I think women should be. I know it's going to be a little bit difficult.
It ain't disagreeing.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say women should be. As far as nature is concerned, the female gender is like way more ruthless than the male gender or whatnot. And I say, and if you come here in America, you got some women that are way more ruthless than men are. And it all depends on the mind frame of the woman or whatnot. A woman can mentally torture you or whatnot. They can physically torture you. If not, didn't the lady just rip off a man scrotum sack a couple of weeks ago or whatnot in the news?
I mean, so have them in a special position to where, that they're interrogating somebody, if that's what they specialize in.
I will agree to that.
The point that I'm making is on the combat field. On the combat field, there are already certain pressures that are going to be on both parties, and a woman is in a position to have a higher risk of harm by her male counterparts than the other way around.
But that's
those conditions.
In the barracks or whatnot. Yeah, of course.
But that's the point that I'm making. In combat, I don't think that a woman should be in combat with men.
In combat, if a woman is dainty, no, she shouldn't be in combat. She shouldn't even think about joining the military. But if you been a tomboy from 1-year-old or whatnot till her whole life or whatever, yeah, man, go ahead, join the military.
I mean, more than likely, those are not the ones that are running into the issue of being raped.
or the dainty ones, more not a butch.
No, I'm saying that the ones that are more male-ish, I don't think they're the ones that are running into the problem in high numbers, if any at all, of being raped.
Right.
So I'm not talking about the ones that are masculine, because if a guy has a choice to choose between a female that resembles him a little bit, and one that's like, man, she's curvy and she's cute and a little bit.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Well, I'm just saying.
He's not going to choose the bearded lady.
Okay, now the next thing I would say why you should go ahead and let women join the military is for the overall, especially for us Americanized Africans, that I think it's a good look for the sake of humanity if you do not discriminate against these women.
If you give them equal opportunity to die in combat, is what you're saying?
Yeah, if you join, you got that right to die, to serve your country or whatnot, and I believe that women should have that right to die if they want to and serve this country. I mean, and I'm not saying just for that.
I mean, but
statistics show they're already dying in large numbers in general,
but see,
outside the military.
True indeed. I don't disagree with you on that part. But if you're gonna come in there with that attitude and mentality, don't cry foul later.
And that's something that you probably need to get more in depth with. And it's not an interviewing process for the military. I guess it's your recruitment. Because they recruit you for the military now, and I think that is something that should be discussed. That recruiting
if you
officers,
get raped, are you going to say anything?
No, not necessarily. If you go if you get raped, you better not say nothing. No, nothing like that.